Hello, and welcome back, subscribers, to another Sunday Speed Paint. Today I'm going to be talking about the movie BELLE, and I cried quite a lot in this, and the personal connections that it has for me, the message that I got from it, and my thoughts of how this movie relates quite a bit to social media in recent relevant events. Firstly, this movie made me cry because I love Belle and the Beast together. They're absolutely sweet, and the personal connection I have with this, of a small story time that I will do of a separate time if you guys want. I personally grew up in a situation very similar to Kai's, where I had no control, I had no say-so until I was literally old enough to be able to move out of that toxic household situation that was literally tearing me apart mentally and physically to a certain extent. And thanks to my roommate, who's a best friend of mine, who I treat and think of like a sister to me, she was able to help me fresh when I was 18 years old to moving out into a safer environment so that I could focus on myself and my plans that have been fulfilled of being able to cross miles to be with my fiance. If you haven't seen that story time, I have 2 of them up. It's a short little I flew for the first time and it was terrifying, and then the second one being just a little animatic story that I had made in tribute to my fiance. So for this story, I felt so many tears when I got to see the situation and understood why the Beast, or Kai, had all of these scars along his back. It was not from actual fights, it was from an emotional perspective of he may not have been hit, but he was taking these verbal hits, and it impacts people more than I think some realize, where they think that, oh, it's just words, but I think there's so much more to it that people don't realize, that the words that people say can absolutely affect them. And I liked that this movie showed that a lot of younger audience members looked up to Belle and the Beast because they thought, this person knows and understands what I'm going through and is a beacon for me, almost like how we have social media influencers that when people reach a certain milestone, another thing that Belle and the Beast were fearing was to be unveiled. Everyone was crying out for them to be unveiled, and they wanted the Beast to basically find out who they were, but that really is terrifying to know that these kids were just like, if we get unveiled, then they'll know who we are, we can get in trouble, not only with our parents, but thousands of strangers on the internet, and it's horrifying. And it's also, if people let them get to them like this, it's one of the reasons why a lot of people, I think nowadays with social media influencers, they nitpick and tear into them. I actually myself recently made a small video. I have a no tolerance for a lot of these hate and just basically people prying and prodding and pushing at people who are small content creators, or even if they are large content creators, trying to, I guess you could call it, find the cracks and make them break. And it's not right. It's shown with the blonde character who tries to unveil the Beast unjustly and unfairly. However, this power can also be put to good use, such as similar to what a lot of social media influencers do, is they dig out the liars and those who might be threatening others, and just like what Belle did, stopping his father from furthering his verbal abuse to these 2 children. And they're parallels to each other, what you can do and what you really shouldn't do with that power. And I feel that this movie is underrated for what it portrays. A lot of current social media situations can parallel this, whether you personally have a connection to the main characters or even some of the side characters. A lot of it speaks volumes. One of the things that I had actually been working on was when I was making this illustration, and I've been on and off with this for so long, is my fear of my own voice on my channel and how many people will want to stick around. And I was reminded by the lovely friends who I have who support me, my fiance, and even just myself thinking about it more. I can't stop being myself, because if I don't make things that I have, the characters, the stories, my YouTube channel, and it just fades away, it's a breaking point, and for all those negative moments, they win. And that's one thing. It sounds a little strange when I say it like that, not to let them win. Not to let them break you down, not to let them tear you apart, and to stand up to what you believe in. That's why I tell all of my friends, and why I mentioned to my audience members, and why I made a specific video the other day, no tolerance for such hate and such to be brought towards what I feel should be a safe space for a lot of people, for those who are people that they look up to, specific social media influencers. I myself look up to a lot of social media influencers. I have made a list, and it's called Too Many Inspirations. It's a video that I made covering everyone ranging from ABD Illustrates, Jaden Animations, Jacksepticeye, so on and so forth. A small little snippet of why I subscribed to their channel in the first place, and why I'm still subscribed to them. Unless someone does something so abhorrent, I will support them for as long as I can, because I feel that's important to support those who would also support you in return. And it's sad when that trust is broken with a lot of the people that we look up to, the influencers, when we come to find out that they truly are scumbags and they don't deserve to be on social media platforms, and in a sense, their voice, similar to the blonde character who abuses the power trying to unveil this child without actually finding a way to find the solution of talking to the boy, just like what Belle did, giving them a chance, because you don't know what's going on behind the screens of what these people are going through and whether it is true or lies. There's a lot more that I can say about this film, but I didn't want to do just a full movie review, just sharing my thoughts about this, and if I haven't convinced you already, please do consider checking out the movie for yourselves to get your own opinions about it, and let me know in the comments down below if you have seen the movie, what your thoughts were. Subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you subscribers for watching another video. Bye-bye!